in what is a geopolitical masterstroke from India, a move that signifies India's rise as a global superpower. Even a country like Turkey, which has frosty relations with India, has been forced to admit India's unshakable position at the center of global affairs. During his visit to New Delhi for the G20 Summit, Turkish President Erdogan backed India to become a permanent United Nations Security Council member. Addressing a press briefing in the Indian capital, Erdogan said the world is larger than the P5 or the 5 permanent members, which include the United States, Russia, China, France and the UK. Erdogan surprisingly added that he would be proud to see a country like India get its deserved spot at the UN high table. Erdogan's comments come just hours after the most prominent member of the P5, the United States, gave its support to India. However, despite Turkey's interference in issues like Kashmir and India's growing influence in the Mediterranean, Erdogan has been forced to concede. Earlier, after the Modi-Biden bilateral ahead of the G20, the joint statement highlighted India's importance to the United States as a regional and global rising power, especially given the ongoing US-China trade war and the tensions over Chinese threats to Taiwan. President Biden has now reaffirmed the need for UNSC reform with India as a permanent member. The United Nations Security Council was established in the aftermath of World War II, giving the P5 a central role in global security. The world has changed since then. New Delhi now has a larger economy and a bigger military than a majority of the P5 members. India has become a 21st century superpower. India, along with countries like Brazil, Japan and Germany, deserve their spot in the UNSC. So the question arises, why isn't India a member of the P5? 4 of the 5 permanent members, including the US, France, Russia and UK, have repeatedly backed India's inclusion. Only China has skirted the issue at every occasion. Is Beijing afraid of India's rising clout in world affairs? Does Xi Jinping fear China will lose its influence in Asia with India's rise? The UNSC has 5 permanent and 10 non-permanent members. For India or any country to be added, the UN Charter would need to be amended. Such a proposal and amendment would need to be adopted by 2/3 of the members of the General Assembly and ratified by 2/3 members of the United Nations, along with all 5 veto-wielding permanent members. Here, China is proving to be a roadblock, but not for long. Given the success of the G20 in New Delhi and the world leaders rallying around India on key issues like climate change, biofuels, connectivity and energy, it's only time before India's true potential is recognized with a permanent UNSC seat.